I'm Harrison Graham. Coming up in a few minutes, we will get to all of your mailbag questions. So use hashtag Bears or the super chat function to get your questions answered on the show. Do want to dive into a trade kind of rumor idea first, though. But before we get to all of that, if you want free and daily Bears content, even during the bye week, we're going to have at least one video per day. I am going to be on wedding vacation this week, but we will have at least a video per day. Turn on the notifications. Subscribe. We got you guys covered. To turn on noties, you have to be subscribed first. So hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. We're here every single day. We got you guys covered. All right, could a blockbuster trade be on the table between the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears? Because with Malik Nabers going down, that is a massive blow for the Giants, but also, more importantly for the Giants, for trying to develop Jackson Dart. Because now they've got like Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton. Is that how you want to develop Jackson Dart this year? So you guys had already been asking me about this, and even our Giants host asked me about it. Like, would a DJ Moore, Kayvon Thibodeaux swap at some point make sense for all parties? Let's just get into it. I'm not giving my answer right now. I'll do that in a minute. Kayvon Thibodeaux this year's played pretty well. Marshall Green, our Giants host, he says he thinks he's playing like an all-pro. The data doesn't suggest just that, but I'm not watching every snap. So I'll trust his word on that he's played pretty darn well. PFF has graded him out pretty nicely on the season as well. Now, his pass rush win rate per PFF's data, now again, that's just how they're analyzing it, just under 11%. That's not a great number. I mean, that's kind of average. If you're, north of 12%, that's above average. North of 15%, that's very good. So from how often he's winning per their data, again, it's not the end-all, be-all. He's kind of in that more like average to above average range. But he's certainly a good player, first-round pick from a couple years ago. Now, as far as his contract situation goes, you could absorb his money this year. Next year, the cap hit is $14.75 million. It's the fifth-year option. So, again, a reasonable number. So if you were to make this move, you would kind of get a year and a half out of him. And unless he just tore it up the next, second half of the year, you wouldn't even have to extend him right now. You could just play next year out and see how it goes. Now, obviously, let's talk about the DJ Moore side of this as well. He's been fine. I mean, he's been more of a complimentary piece. Clearly, Rome Odunze has elevated. He is the top receiver on this team. DJ's the 2. I still think there's ways to get him more involved. I think that the Bears have probably missed a few opportunities getting him the ball, but there's no disputing who the number 1 receiver on this team is right now, and that's Rome Odunze. So the question is DJ's role going to grow? Is this just kind of what his role is moving forward? And if it is, would trading him just make more sense? Well, let's get to the Giants' angle of this. Again, they got to maximize Dart's development this year. Brian Dable's on the hot seat, so a big way to keep his job is to convince ownership that Jackson Dart's the guy. And it's hard for him to develop and grow without Malik Nabers. So, like, getting a guy like DJ Moore could certainly help Jackson Dart out. From the Bears' standpoint, if you feel good about Luther Burden III taking on a full-time role instead of being kind of this part-time starter right now, would you trade DJ Moore, get off that money, and bring in Kayvon Thibodeaux to help your pass rush, which has been abysmal this year? It is an interesting thought. It is an interesting thought to have. So you guys let me know. Would you trade DJ Moore for Kayvon Thibodeaux? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Straight up, I don't know how much pick involvement there would be. Maybe the Bears would get a D3 pick, but with how Kayvon started this year and how DJ is starting, considering DJ's already paid, it probably wouldn't be far off from a straight-up trade. So yes or no, would you make that move? My answer to this is ask me around Halloween. I think if I got offered tomorrow a straight-up trade, I would be a little hesitant. Not because I don't like Kayvon Thibodeaux, and not because I don't think he can still ascend, but I don't want to just brush off DJ Moore either. I do think he's a really good player. And listen, if you're still asking me what's most important for the Bears this year, it's for, Caleb to be at his best. Even if him and DJ haven't had the best connection, trading him doesn't help Caleb out, at least in theory. So, again, ask me in a month. Has DJ's role expanded, or is it more of the same? Does Luther seem ready for that full-time role? A lot of factors go into this. So closer to the trade deadline, I'd have a better answer for you. Right now, I'd be a little hesitant. I'd consider it, but I would still be a little hesitant at this point in time. Okay, Maz Tanker, as we get into our mailbag section now, he says, if the O-line and Caleb work out, can we focus on the running back and D-line in the draft and off seasons, please? I think, clearly you're going to attack, ideally, the positions you need the most. Now you got to factor in BPA along with that. It's always a marriage of best player available and what your needs are. That's how you want to attack it. We'll see about the O-line. Let's be clear. The QB thing, to me, unless something unforeseen happens, there's no world where they're drafting a quarterback next year. If Caleb is exactly what he's been so far this year, and I think even the haters would say chances are he'll continue to improve like he has so far, but even if he's just the rest of the year where it's pretty good, even though it's a little inconsistent still, I still think he's easily coming back, and it's a year 2 with Ben. I don't think there's any world where they would bail on that. So that's not even a question for me. The O-line, is the left tackle of the future on this team? If it is, great. Then yeah, you don't have to attack that position. But if it's not, that's in the mix for round 1. And obviously running back, defensive line, those are positions too. Safety. All 4 are free agents right now. So there's 4 or 5 areas they could go depending on how the rest of the year plays out. So ideally you find your left tackle and you're good there. But if not, that's got to be on the table in the first round. Detached Mustache. Do you think the lack of run game and Caleb's ability to still execute win games will eventually silence the Caleb haters? It's hard to imagine a bus would have won the last 2 games. Yeah, look, everyone has their reasons. I think some reasons are just the silly stuff. We all know what that is. Other reasons are, look, it's their true, honest opinion that they don't think Caleb's that guy. And listen, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. The silly stuff, again, we know what that is. I just can't even entertain. It's so silly. But, yeah, I just... They can't run the ball, guys. Caleb in the passing game is the offense. Doesn't mean it's been perfect. Doesn't mean Caleb is just some established top 10 quarterback now. But it does mean that that's their best chance of success offensively right now is throwing the football. There's nothing you could point to that would say that's not the case. So is that enough to silence the haters that this team is a horrible rushing attack and yet you've won your last 2 games largely due to Caleb in the passing game? I don't know. But I'm excited about how he's playing, while also acknowledging that he needs to get better and definitely the run game needs to get better. Are you happy or upset that the Bears have a bye week here? They have won 2 in a row, got some momentum. I'm actually happy for 2 reasons. One, I knew my brother-in-law's wedding would be in week 5, so I was begging for the Bears to draw this bye week. Worked out in my favor. And 2, banged up right now. I think it's actually a good thing to get some guys healthy and also, tinker some things that need to improve upon between week 4 and week 6. So I'm actually happy. H for happy, U for upset. You guys let me know. TJ, do you think Carolina would trade Chuba Hubbard? It's a good question. They extended him last year, so it seems unlikely. Let me see what Chuba has done this year. He had a really good year last year. This year, 4.1 yards per carry, 217 yards in 4 games. It's been okay. He averaged 4.8 last year. 94 yards receiving. He's up in that. He's already over half of his production from last year. 2 receiving touchdowns. I don't know if they would trade him. I probably wouldn't give up a premium pick for him because he is under contract. He has a new contract that has started, so you would have to take on that money. If they're 6th, would Carolina do that? I don't know. I don't really see them trading him either because the kid they drafted a couple years ago, Jonathan Brooks, he may never play because of injuries. So that would be kind of a quick bail on Chuba, who they just paid. Top Shots 501. Did you see DJ and Rome are the 2 highest rated receivers through 4 weeks per ESPN Analytics? I saw some stat. I need to go look at it. I don't know if it's based on separation or what. Clearly we've seen Rome take a step forward. I do think DJ's route running has been better. I've seen some all-22 breakdown that would suggest that. I know JT O'Sullivan's talked about that. I don't think DJ's some bum. I think he's a good player. I just think it's almost it's more about allocation of resources, right? If you have an established one in Rome, if he continues to be that guy, if you feel good about Luther moving forward, well, ideally, those are your top two guys. They're young, they're ascending. Does that make DJ expendable, who's making $27 million per year? Can you get a player at a premium position in here with that money? Can you get a premium draft pick to go younger and add a player at a different position of need? That's really what this conversation is when it comes to the idea of trading DJ Moore. It's not that he sucks; it's that Rome's elevated, and you got a lot of receivers that seem to be pretty good players. Hit the subscribe button. We will continue to answer your questions on this mailbag video, youtube.com/BearsNow. If you want to support the show, this is the channel for you. Text that link with a friend who's a Bears fan. We would appreciate it. All right, TJ17, a couple more here. Do you think there is any chance of Ozzie starting at left tackle? Right now, no. I mean, I think there's a chance of starting, but I think it would be at right tackle. To my knowledge, he's not getting reps at left tackle. So I think if there was a chance of that, wouldn't he have played some left tackle against the Raiders? He didn't. So right now, I would say no. In the future, yes, there's a chance. I don't think he'll play a left tackle this year, though, unless it's an emergency. All right, the Notcast. Next 6-game dubs, Baltimore and Cincy may be easy. I don't think they'll be easy. Look, Baltimore is reeling right now. They got a lot of injuries. That game feels more winnable than it did when the schedule came out. That's still a tall task on the road. I still think the Ravens are a playoff team if they can just kind of steady the ship here. But, yeah, I mean, Cincinnati without Joe Burrow, even though on the road, that's a game you probably feel like you should win. So, Commanders out of the bye feels big. If you can win that, get above 500, you got the Saints at home in that stretch. That's a game you should win. There's a lot of winnable games here. So, NFL plays out differently every year. Felt like a doomsday schedule. All of a sudden, it feels more manageable. That's why, we all do it. We all overreact to the schedule, but you can't predict injuries. You can't predict teams who will overachieve versus underachieve. You just never know. That's the beauty of the sport. We didn't get to your question. We apologize. Hit me up on social media at HGramNFL on Twitter and at HGramNFL on Instagram. If you're watching live, we have one more mailbag coming up, so continue to pepper that live chat, #Bears or Super Chat. We'll get to as many of your questions as possible.